Hi, I'm Mike Glenn, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We would love for you to hit the like button, or especially the subscribe button, as we try to find practical, everyday ways to help you in your walk as a Christ follower. One of the things that young believers find out pretty quick is they get disillusioned because they were told or they heard somehow that Jesus has a wonderful plan for your life, and if you follow Jesus, then everything will go right in your life. I kind of know where that comes from. It comes from, well, sometimes we oversell the Christian life. That is, we make promises that Jesus never made, or we say things that Jesus never intended for us to say about what it is to follow Christ. Now, hear me. Following Christ is the best thing you can do in your life. It's the best thing I do in my life, and I would not trade it for anything. There is a sense of peace, comfort, meaning, purpose that doesn't come from any other source. But I do want to talk about this myth, this misunderstanding we have that, boy, if I follow Jesus, then everything goes well in my life. I can always find a parking place near the front door of my favorite store. Relationships never have any struggles, on and on the list goes. Let's go back to the basic understanding of why we follow Christ. The reason we follow Christ is that the purpose of his work in our life is to make us more and more like him. Now, there are all kinds of illustrations that are used. There is Jeremiah's story and the potter working with the clay, so that if the clay pot doesn't turn out the way that the potter wants it to, or if it has some kind of flaw in it, the potter will crush the clay and remold it. Now, that is a beautiful story. It is poetic, but if you're the clay, it hurts to get crushed. It hurts to have the hands of Christ mash you back to your unformed state and start shaping you all over again. Jesus talked about agriculture, and he said the Father will prune the vine. Now, if you're in any kind of gardener or any kind of landscaper or fool around in your front yard at all, you'll know that sometimes plants have to be cut back. They will grow beyond what they're capable of sustaining, or they will get old, and you'll have to cut them back to spur new growth. Again, that sounds great, but if you're the vine being cut, that hurts. Let me let you in on a little secret. It doesn't get easier, it gets harder. And it gets harder because the treasure that you're going after is deeper, harder to get, and worth so much more. Now, as you learn one thing, the Lord will take you through one thing. That will be the preparation for your next thing. This victory will give you confidence for the next battle. Remember David? David was asked why he thought he could take Goliath, and he said, listen, I have killed the lion, I have killed the bear. Now, you would think any one of those would be reason to retire. Hey, I've killed the lion, there's nothing else for me to do. I've killed the bear, there's nothing else for me to prove. But each one of those were steps so that David would have the confidence that God would see him through in his battle to Goliath. So what you will learn is, this moment is hard. The Lord will get me through this. I will learn what I need to learn. I'll be shaped as I need to be shaped. And that will be preparation for the next thing, which will be bigger and harder and deeper. Why? Because God wants to continue to show more and more of who he is to you. He wants you to know more and more of who you are to become. And so there's that constant thing of shaping and reshaping, of pruning, of cutting back, of replanting, of ripping out weeds. And all of this is a difficult process, but the end product, the you that comes out of this, is the best you that could ever be. So don't be surprised when one day it's a little harder than it was the next day. That's just God taking you on a little deeper journey, which means you have to hold your breath a little longer and you have to trust a little harder. It doesn't get easier, but it does get better. I'm Mike Glenn. This is our YouTube channel, and hit subscribe or like, and we'll see you next time.